So I need your help. I have a question about cameras, specifically Nikon Z cameras, because I'm looking to buy a new one. So come along, stay tuned. Let's chat about this and let's see if you can help me out make my decision. Which Nikon Z should I buy for me? Hey everybody and welcome back. It's Jason, and once again I'm here with you and I'm trying to make a decision on a new camera. Now, when I make a big purchase like this, I research the crap out of it, and because it's a lot of money. I mean, when you're talking $2,000-3,000 for a piece of tech, you want to make sure that you spend your money right and you're getting the best bang for your buck that you possibly can. As you can see, I've got a million notes here that I've been comparing cameras and looking at different things, and today I want to talk about it a little bit and see if we can't come to a conclusion. Well, maybe we'll come to a conclusion. Maybe you can help me out in the comments down below and help me out with what I'm supposed to do next. So for a long time now, I've been using this fellow right here. This is the Nikon D7100. It has been a beast. I've been using it for probably at least 6 years now, and it has served me so well. I've used it for so long. It's just starting to get a little long in the tooth. It's got some surface issues. The pop-up flash doesn't really work properly anymore. Not that I ever use that anyway. I've lost the battery door, so trusty old duct tape on there. How that happened, I have no idea. I don't know where the battery door went. It's just gone. So I've been looking at the mirrorless Z or Z, depending on where you are in the world. In Canada, we tend to say Z, but I've been looking at these different cameras for a while now. When the first Z6 came out, I was really intrigued, but being someone that shoots weddings from time to time, I do like having the dual card slots, so that was something that was in the back of my mind. And people didn't really respond to the Z6 that well when it first came out, so I wanted to maybe just hold off a little while. I didn't need to replace my camera at that point, so I kept using my trusty old crop sensor D7100 DSLR, and it served the purpose. So but as I said, I want to upgrade. I want to get into something new, and I've been hearing good things about the Z system now. With all the firmware updates, etc., etc. So you got to stop and think that my D7100 was originally released in 2013. So we're talking 8 years ago now. So like I said, I've been using this for 6 or 7 years, and I want something new. So I started doing some research and I started comparing, and there's a lot of Z cameras out there now. A lot of people don't think that Nikon has put out a lot of cameras, but they have with this system. And I mean, now there's the ZFC, there's the Z50, there's the Z5, there's the original Z6, there's the Z6 II, there's the Z7, there's the Z7 II, and soon, coming up soon, there's going to be the Z9, which is so far out of my realm of existence that I won't even talk about that very much. So when I first started doing my comparison notes, I was looking at the ZFC, the Z5, the Z6, and the Z6 II. I didn't put in the Z7 or the Z7 II because I don't necessarily need a camera that's 45 megapixels, and because then you get into storage issues, and plus when you're talking the Z7 or the Z7 II, you're close to, in Canada, you're over $4,000 just for the camera body itself. So that's a lot of loonies and toonies that I would have to save. So those two I eliminated right out of the gate. So when I started looking at all of these, and as you can see, I'm going to refer to my notes every once in a while so that I can keep this straight. And I'll put some stuff up on the screen here as I talk about it so that you can kind of see what I'm looking at. So the Z6 came out in 2018, so it's already 3 years old. So do I want to replace a 6-year-old camera with an already 3-year-old camera? I hummed and hawed about that for a while. I mean, obviously the Z6 is a little bit cheaper than the Z6 II because of the fact that it's 3 years old. But one of the things I didn't like about the Z6 was the fact that it didn't have 2 card slots. And I know there's a million arguments in the world about that. So which I don't want to really go into. I just prefer having 2 card slots. It's a peace of mind thing for me. So that led me towards the Z6 II a little bit more. Man, these terms are something else, aren't they? Holy cow. But it's just, I started to look at the comparison between the Z6 and the Z6 II, and I more or less eliminated the Z6 from the conversation because, again, it's 3 years old. The body is virtually the same. Pretty much everything on the Z6 and the Z6 II is exactly the same, with the exception of let me see, the Z6 II has 2 card slots now. So it has one CF Express Type B and it has one SD. So that gave me that peace of mind that I wanted. So there's one difference. It has a new battery over the Z6, which gives you a few more shots per battery, and the Z6 II is backwards compatible with all the other EN-EL15 batteries. But it does have a new battery, so that was a plus as well. And it has 2 XPEED 6 sensors in it, which allows for a little faster processing when you're doing fast frames per second, etc., and video. So those were the big things between the Z6 and the Z6 II that got me. Were they worth the extra, $500+? I don't know. But I've always been one that I in my mind, and I've told this to people, buy a little more camera than you actually need so that you have somewhere to grow, so you don't outgrow it a year from now, especially when you're talking $2,000-$3,000 for a piece of technology that should be lasting you at least a little while. So going from there, then we started looking at the other things. I mean, at the same time, in 2020, the Z6 II came out, and so did the Z5. So I started thinking, well, what's the difference between the Z5 and the Z6? There's a pretty substantial price difference, almost $1,000 Canadian between the two of them. And hell, I mean, that's a lens. So I started going, well, which do I get? Do I get the Z5? Do I get the Z6 II? Or is there that big of a difference? So looking at my notes again, there are 5 differences, six differences and one big difference. The main differences are the 14 frames per second versus the 4 frames per second from the Z6 II to the Z5. The 1080-120, both do 4K 30 versus the 1080-60. Can't talk today. The tilt screen is the same. The dots don't really matter to me. For the amount that I use my rear screen, I may use it more with a mirrorless camera. I don't know. I may use it more that it flips up. I don't know. That's going to be a learning experience for me with this camera, because all of my cameras previous to this did not tip, did not flip or tilt or any of that. Another difference is the 1 CF 1 SD versus the 2 SDs. And the Z6 II claims 410 shots on about a full charge battery, and the Z5 claims 470 shots. It's a difference of about 60 shots, so that's not that big of a deal. And then there's the Z6 II has the 2 XPEED sensor. processors. That's the word I'm looking for. 2 X-Speed processors in it versus the one in the Z5. So now the big difference is the price. In Canada, the Z6 II is $2,700. The Z5 is $1,800. So you're talking a difference of $900. That's a huge difference, especially when you consider that that's just the body of the camera. That's nothing else. It's just the body. So then if you factor in the FTZ adapter, which I definitely want to get, one of the places I'm looking at buying the camera right now, they have a deal on the FTZ adapter that if you buy a Z5, Z6, Z7, etc., one of the Z cameras, they give you $200 off the adapter. So you get the adapter at $129.99 versus $329.99. So that's something that's definitely intriguing for me as well. The big difference is, you know, and that applies to both those cameras. So that's a moot point. Now, you know, if you add that together, you're in the ballpark of you know, just shy of $2,000 for the Z5 and just shy of $3,000 for the Z6 II. That's a lot of money. So I want to make sure that I make the right decision here. Now, another thing that I'm trying to factor in, do I buy the body with the kit lens or do I buy just the body? So I'm looking at 2 options right now because I only have so much money. So virtually, these 2 options are virtually the same. Do I get the Z5 with the FTZ adapter and the Z24-70 f4, or do I get the Z6 II with the FTZ adapter and save for a Z lens later on and just use my existing lenses? I have some great lenses. I still have the Nikon 70-200 f4. I have my Sigma Art 18-35 1.8, and I have a couple of other lenses like a Tokina 11-16 2.8, and I have my 50mm 1.8. So I have lenses. Lenses are not a problem as long as I have the FTZ adapter. So those are the 2 options I'm looking at right now. And basically, I can't make up my mind. I think I know one way I'm leaning right now, but I want your input. So leave a comment down below. And it's right now, we're looking between the Z5 and the Z6 II. So what do you think? What would you do? Would you look at the Z5 with the 24-70 f4 and the FTZ adapter? Or would you go with the Z6 and just the FTZ adapter and get Z lenses later? That's where I am right now. So leave a comment down below. Subscribe while you're down there to see what decision I made. It's probably going to be in the next 3 or 4 weeks. I will have an unboxing video. I will have a big hurrah because I will be very excited about my new toy. And I hope you come back. I hope you stick around for that. And please leave me a comment down below. I'm really, really curious to see what everyone thinks I should do. I know a lot of people will say, oh, you should switch to Sony. No, you know what? I'm just going to stick with my Nikon. I like Nikon. I've been a Nikon guy for a long time. So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think I should do. And maybe, you know, your suggestion will pique something in my brain. So thank you for being here, and I will see you guys all next time.